How much does it cost to start a med spa? That's a question that we so often get every single day. And of course, because there's many different ways to do it. Hey, my name is Liv. I'm one of the co-founders of InjectableBoost. And today I'm going to be going over how much it actually costs to start a med spa or a longevity clinic or a wellness center. Call it whatever you want, because you can do this in so many different ways. We have clinics that are starting out as a what I would call an original med spa, right? With a lot of the aesthetic services, Botox, fillers, facials, etc., which is great. Now, we also have longevity spas or even wellness centers that are starting out a lot more longevity focused and typically also a bit bigger, but it depends, okay? What this could look like is focusing a lot more on peptides, GLPs, red light therapy, hyperbaric chambers, saunas, cold plunges, all of those kind of things. And no matter what route you take, the investment is going to vary. And of course, even in the specific category of just a med spa or a wellness center, it will also vary. So let me get into the point. A bit earlier this year, I shared a video about how much it costs to start a med spa, and I went through step by step all the different things that you got to invest in. Today is going to be a little bit more specific and a little bit different, and I hope you find it valuable. First of all, something that I want to go through with you is on our website right here. If you haven't been here yet, go here and click on resources, because we actually share quite a few amazing resources completely for free, such as, guess what? A med spa cost breakdown. And I have something for free to share with you in this video as well, so make sure to stick around. Cool. What I want to get into first of all is the med spa turnkey investment and ROI guide, because like I said, there's a couple of ways to start a med spa. We have three categories that we typically like to break this down into, which is the one, lean starter. Someone investing between 30 to 82,000 total investment to get up and running, and has 6 to 11K in monthly overhead, sometimes even lower, right? Now, this is not really doable for a lot of people, but who is it doable for? Well, this is doable for a doctor or a nurse who wants to, as an example, get out of the hospital or whatever they do and start their own small little clinic. Typically, they're starting out with just one room that they're renting, or maybe two rooms, but a very small space, right? And a pretty dialed in little lean service menu. Now, the growth clinic is someone who's investing $80,000 to $170,000 to get up and running, like all included real estate and blah, blah, blah. Okay. Now, this is where most of our clients fall into. That's the category they fit into. And they have overhead between 8 to 28,000 a month. And that's a big range, but it depends, right? Because like I said, you can actually mold your clinic to whatever you want. So if you wish to have, I guess, low overhead as possible, well, you just gotta be more in depth and careful with your decisions of what you invest into, right? Which is something we can talk about a bit later. The full scale, you invest more money, you have more overhead, and this is simply bigger space, more staff members, more services, more modalities. That's pretty simple. Now, if we scroll down, this is the lean starter first, and we're going to go through each category one by one. And I'll make it super simple. The lean starter has typically a startup investment broken down into these categories, right? And that is maybe a device, space deposit. Maybe I can zoom in a little bit so you can see this even better. But space deposit, licensing, insurance, legalities, supplies and initial inventory, branding and signage, and then some working capital, right? And then we have a low and a high estimate for the startup investment. If we go down and check out the monthly overhead, these are the numbers. We are renting a room or a suite. We have maybe a staff member. We're doing the advertising, of course, because we want to get clients in the door. Supplies and consumables, insurance, device lease if financed, software like EMR, booking system, CRM, you name it. And that is where we have the overhead ranging. Now, to get to the next tier, the growth clinic, where most people find themselves, this is where your startup investment would look something like this typically. You oftentimes get a device because if you have the right partner, it is fantastic and it is easy to get clients in the door. You can sell high ticket packages with a very high profit margin between 80 to 90%. Lease deposit, minor build out, licensing, furniture, supplies, branding, signage, and website, and some working capital. Okay. Again, this is just a slightly bigger space, a couple staff members, and maybe a couple more services than the lean starter, okay? Monthly overhead goes up a little bit, of course, as well, naturally. We have rent, staffing, advertising, supplies, insurance, device lease, and the software, just like before. And here I've actually broken it down into 3 tiers because, again, there's many ways to do it. Now, lastly, the full-scale med spa, like I said, bigger space, more staff, more services. And you can see the numbers here, pause the video and go through it on your own. I will share this as a free guide though in just a moment, okay? Now, another thing that I wanna make sure you can go through is something I absolutely love. It is a calculator because now we just went through what it actually costs to start a med spa. And maybe you didn't really feel like you got a proper answer to your question. How much does it cost for you? Well, it's a good question because I don't know you yet, but we can actually get on a call together and I can break this down specifically for you on how much this will cost for you to start a med spa and what's going to be involved. And more importantly, maybe, how much money can you actually generate, right? What can your med spa longevity center realistically make month by month and over the first entire year? And I'll break it down right now. I'll share this as well in this video. But here, guess what? You pick your model. Like I said, most people fit into this growth clinic option, okay? And I have a whole video about this, breaking it even more down, so go ahead and watch that. Now, you want to set your numbers first, like how much ad spend do you want to spend? And then you set your package pricing, offer pricing, conversion rate, and a couple other things like your gross margin on services, the monthly overhead that we also broke down just before. Okay, so this is very, very important. Now, then you want to set your returning clientele. And if you're like, well, I don't know these numbers, that's okay. Because guess what? Most people don't. And it is already preset based on what model you choose up here, which is fantastic. Okay. Now, if we go down a little bit, you can actually stress test the numbers. And if you open this up, you would be able to see that you can adjust the cost per lead and different things a little bit. If you want to add in a membership program, you can do so here because I know a lot of you want to have that reoccurring revenue in a business that also makes it very sellable eventually. Now, you can add that in here, but what I want to get to is how much are you able to generate? Now, we broke down this into 2 categories, a conservative category and a typical category. I urge you to check the typical category because it is the most realistic, but I like to be a little bit conservative with my numbers, which is why I also have the conservative side, okay? This is your monthly new patient economics. How much money you're going to be generating from new clients per month, conservatively or typically. Okay, based on the numbers that we just set together up here. All right. So if we just scroll down, take a look through it, but even more importantly, scroll a little bit further down and you're going to be able to see your entire first year right here. So you can see your month 12 run rate. And you can, of course, see the first year month by month. As we get new patients in the door, as we get more regular clients, we can see the new patient revenue and the reoccurring revenue from the existing clients. And therefore, we can see the total revenue as well. And this is exactly what I want you to go through so that you can see what is actually possible in this industry when it's done right. Now, I got to make a disclaimer because these numbers are actually pretty decent. Right? They're pretty good. But why is that? Well, one, this industry is absolutely booming like never before. And it's been booming and growing, getting more and more in demand for all these different services and longevity services over the past few years. And it's only going in one direction. Another disclaimer is that these numbers are not random numbers, okay? Like these numbers are based on our clinics, the ones that we support, the ones that we have launched. So this is based on that. It's average numbers based on those and with working with us. So can I guarantee that you would be able to do this completely on your own or if you work with a franchise or whatever? No, I cannot. But this is based on working with us and what we have seen with our clients. Can you do it on your own? Oh, I guess you can for sure, but you got to have proper systems in place. That's the most important things, okay? You got to have a proper foundation for your med spa so that you actually know that you're going to get a good location in the right area, that you add the right services to your service menu, and that you have a good dialed in client acquisition system that gets you new clients in the door every single week on repeat, and a good sales process so that when they come through the door, your providers, they know exactly how to turn this new client into a high ticket client that already purchased a package, $3, $4, $5,000 package, or a membership. They come back again and again. That's the type of business we want to build. If you want to get this free resource, link in the description. Go ahead, download it, as well as the other guide that I just showed you, and book a free 15-minute phone call with us where we can walk you through what your path is going to look like. What is all this going to look like for you, and can we potentially help you launch a successful med spa? If you're not ready for that, that's completely fair, but I hope that you got value out of this video.